If you walk into a Japanese preschool, you will notice something immediately. The children aren't being managed. They aren't being threatened. They aren't being bribed with snacks to sit still. They're just, or calm. Not because they're told to be, not because they're afraid to act out, but because from the very beginning of their lives, they were taught something most Western children never learn. And that thing, that single shift in how Japanese parents raise their children, is backed by decades of developmental psychology research. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what it is, and how you can bring it into your home, starting today. Now, I want to be clear about something before we start. This is not about saying Japanese culture is perfect. Every culture has its struggles. Japan has its own challenges with pressure, perfectionism, and mental health. But when it comes to emotional regulation in early childhood, the science consistently shows that certain Japanese parenting philosophies produce children who are measurably calmer, more patient, and more socially aware than the global average. And the reason why will probably surprise you. Because it has almost nothing to do with discipline. Let's start from the beginning. Section 1. Amae, the foundation of everything. There is a word in Japanese psychology that has no direct translation in English. The word is Amae. It was first described by Japanese psychiatrist Takeo Doi in the 1970s, and it refers to something like this. The deep sense of comfort a child feels when they completely trust that their parent will be there, not to fix everything, but simply to be present. Amae is not spoiling. It's not overprotection. It's not giving a child everything they want. It is the deliberate cultivation of a secure emotional base. So deep and so reliable that the child doesn't need to act out to test it. In Western parenting, we often believe that independence is built by pushing children away early, teaching them to self-soothe, letting them figure things out alone. The Japanese approach says the opposite. You build independence by first building total security. A child who knows, in their bones, that they are not alone, doesn't need to be anxious, doesn't need to be reactive, doesn't need to fight for your attention. They are already calm, because they already feel safe. Section TWO. Emotional narration. One of the most consistent behaviors researchers observe in Japanese mothers is something called emotional narration. It sounds simple, but it's extraordinarily powerful. From the first weeks of life, before a baby can speak, before they can understand words, Japanese mothers speak to their babies about emotions. Not just, are you hungry? Or are you tired? But things like, you're frustrated right now, aren't you? That toy won't do what you want. Oh, that surprised you. Something new happened and you got a fright. You feel left out because your sister got more attention. That's hard. Research by Dr. Keiko Takahashi at the University of Tokyo found that Japanese mothers use significantly more emotion-focused language with infants than mothers in the United States, the United Kingdom, or Australia. And here's why this matters. When a child grows up hearing their internal experience named, they develop what psychologists call emotional granularity. The ability to distinguish between similar feelings. Not just I feel bad, but I feel embarrassed versus I feel ashamed. Not just I'm angry, but I'm frustrated because I expected something different. Children with high emotional granularity are measurably calmer under stress. They recover from upsets faster. They are less likely to melt down because they understand what they're feeling. You can start doing this today, right now, with any age child. The next time your child gets upset, before you try to fix it or redirect them, just name it. You're disappointed. You really wanted that and now you can't have it. That's it. No solution needed yet. Just name it. Watch what happens. Section 3. Letting children sit with discomfort. Here is where Japanese parenting becomes counterintuitive. Japanese parents, particularly in the early childhood years, are less likely to immediately rescue a child from discomfort. If a child is struggling to put on their shoes, they wait. If a child is frustrated with a puzzle, they observe. If a child falls down and isn't hurt, they don't rush over immediately. They watch. They are present. But they don't intervene. In Japanese early childhood education, there is a concept called Mimamoru. It translates roughly as to watch over and protect from a distance. It is not neglect. It is not indifference. Mimamoru is active, attentive non-intervention. The belief is this. When a child faces a small difficulty and solves it themselves, something happens inside their brain that cannot happen any other way. They learn that they are capable. They learn that discomfort ends, and they survived it. They learn that frustration is not an emergency. Western parenting often treats a child's discomfort as a problem to be solved immediately. The Japanese philosophy treats it as the lesson itself. Dr. Alison Gopnik at UC Berkeley, one of the world's leading child psychologists, describes this as the difference between a carpenter parent and a gardener parent. The carpenter tries to shape the child into a specific outcome. The gardener creates the right conditions and lets the child grow. Mimamoru is pure gardening. Section 4. The group identity. There's one more pillar of Japanese child rearing that explains the karma you see in Japanese classrooms. And it might be the most important one. In Japan, children are raised with a profound sense of belonging to something larger than themselves. Not in a political way. In a deeply daily, ordinary way. Japanese kindergartens don't have janitors. The children clean the school themselves, every day. They serve each other's lunch. They look after the younger students. They are responsible, from the age of 3, for the community around them. And what this creates psychologically is extraordinary. A child who feels responsible for others cannot be entirely self-absorbed. A child who contributes to a group develops what researchers call other-focused attention. The ability to notice what people around them are feeling and needing. This is the root of social calmness. So much childhood anxiety in the West comes from the pressure of being the center of your own world. Everything is about me. My feelings, my needs, my performance, my success. Japanese children are gently, consistently taught, you are part of something. And that something needs you to show up. That shift, from self-focus to contribution, is one of the most powerful anti-anxiety tools developmental psychology has ever identified. Section 5. What you can do starting today. You don't need to move to Japan. You don't need to overhaul your entire parenting style overnight. But there are 4 things you can bring into your home right now, rooted in exactly what we just talked about. Number 1. Build Amae deliberately. Every day, create 1 moment of pure undivided presence with your child. No phone. No to-do list. No agenda. Just you, and them, and absolute availability. 5 minutes of this is worth more than an hour of distracted togetherness. Number 2. Name the emotion before you fix the problem. The next time your child is upset, pause before you react. Say the feeling out loud, simply and without judgment. You're really frustrated right now. That hurt your feelings. You're disappointed because you expected something different. Then wait. Often, that's all they needed. Number 3. Practice Mimamoru. When your child struggles with something that isn't dangerous, try waiting 30 seconds before you help. Watch. Stay close. But give them the space to try. If they ask for help, help. If they don't, let them find their way. That 30 seconds of struggle is building the calm confidence of a lifetime. Number 4. Give them something to contribute to. Even a 2-year-old can carry something to the table. Even a 4-year-old can water a plant, wipe a counter, fold a cloth. Give your child a real responsibility, not a fake task, something that actually matters. And tell them explicitly, this family needs you. You make this homework. That sentence, more than any praise, any reward, any gold star, builds a child who feels grounded in the world. The Japanese don't raise calm children by demanding calmness. They raise calm children by creating safety, by naming feelings, by trusting children with difficulty, by giving them a place to belong. And in doing those four things, they quietly, consistently build children who don't need to be calmed, because they were never made to feel afraid. If this gave you one thing to try this week, share it with another parent. This is the kind of science that should be in every home. I'll see you in the next one.